All right, so here we are. I tagged you. You like that? I tagged you because I want to see if I can help you with some free advice using some neuroscience. So I wanted to see if anyone here today would like to give me a topic, a concern that they might have in their life that I can quickly give you a 15 to 30 second piece of advice. Best life, everyday best life. So would anyone here like to volunteer? You know, before you guys start relationships. Okay, what about relationships? Because what I find, fear and scarcity. Be specific, guys. Be very specific. So, one thing that I want to, as far as relationships are concerned, there's a recurring theme that keeps coming up when when I speak to people. They can't seem to figure out how to get over their ex. Okay? Give me an emoji if you've been in that situation. Oh, that's not true. No, don't say no one can help you. That's not true. The truth is, you can help yourself, right? You can help yourself. So you don't have to worry about other people, because you can definitely help yourself. Okay? All right. Fear of not making money, fear of spending money. Okay, very good. All right, I'm going to address that. Let me that is a common concern that people have. Okay, I want to get on this X thing because a lot of people are embarrassed to say that that's an issue that they have. So I'm going to say this. Cheater's remorse. Okay, that's guilt. All right, very good. All right, we got a lot of topics coming in. All right, beautiful. Let's discuss getting over an ex. Okay. Guilt. Okay, beautiful. I'm gonna try to get to that. Okay. Getting over an ex. When you are in a relationship, you create memories in this fashion, right? You have a thought about the person that you're with. And let's say you're with that person, you have an experience, right, with that person. Let's say you're walking, I'm just giving an example. You're walking on the beach with that person. You're relaxed, you're walking across, you're looking at the waves, beautiful. And then that male or female takes your hand, and now you're holding hands. By the way, there's energy centers in your hands, so that's why holding hands has an effect on us. But that's a whole nother story. Yes, this activates your heart center. So that's why that's part of the reason that we pray this way. We don't even understand why it is that we're doing it. And actually, there's energetic centers in your hands. Okay? Which actually cause your left and your right brain to turn on. So anyway, we do things subconsciously. We don't even know why we're doing them. But yeah. So let's say this person grabs your hand, right? So you're walking on the beach. Now, they've perked you up and they've altered your state. When you go into an altered state, when your state is altered, this forms a lasting memory, right? Because now you've infused energy, emotion into the moment. So now you have this memory. Thank you. Now you have this memory because you have an altered state. You don't remember things really well when your state hasn't been altered. For example, if I ask you where you were on 9/11 and what was going on that day, you'll tell me easily. But if I ask you where you were the day before, where you were the day after, you have no idea. And the reason is because your state wasn't altered. You were in your normal routine. So what happens when you're in a relationship is you have a lot of these moments where you have altered states because this person was with you in a situation where you felt emotional. Now, emotions are not always the truth, guys. Just because you feel a certain way does not mean that it's accurate. That's why so many people fall in love with people that are not so great. right? So I need you to understand that feelings are feelings and thoughts are thoughts, but they are not based on accuracy. Feelings do not tell you something that is true. Feelings normally tell you what is familiar and what is comfortable. That's why people go back to their emotional home so much. For example, why do people get angry over the silliest things? Things that even would make somebody else happy. Because that's their emotional home. That's where they feel comfortable. It's not accurate. That's why certain people get mad over certain things and certain people don't. Do you understand? Is it true that that thing should make them angry? Because sometimes I look at the things that people get angry for. Like, for example, I'll just give you an example. Somebody might get annoyed that in the store, kids are laughing, right? They might get annoyed. Oh, those kids are distracting. They're making noise, right? When meanwhile, me, I'll be like, oh, that's so cute. I'm glad those kids are having fun. Who's right? Who's to say? Maybe those kids shouldn't be so loud. I don't know. Maybe it is inconsiderate. I don't know. Maybe it's wonderful and beautiful. I don't know. Who's to say? I don't know. But my emotional home is happiness and joy. So it's totally neutral that those kids are laughing. It's totally neutral. You assign the meaning to those kids laughing. If your emotional home is angry, that's where you're comfortable, then you're going to make sure that you get angry over those kids laughing in the store. Because that's the meaning that you've assigned to it. That's your emotional home. That's where you feel comfortable. It's neutral. So what I'm trying to say is that you who aren't over your exes, you're believing those stories. You know, you're believing those stories about your ex because of the emotion that your memories carry. That doesn't mean that that's the right person for you. That doesn't mean that even that you should even have that emotion. Who knows? You're assigning meaning to it. So, the longer you're with a person and the stronger emotions that you had, for example, betrayal, that's a very strong emotion, right? Betrayal is a very strong emotion. So you're going to have to overcome very strong emotions, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. But I want to make this point. You're literally tattooing your brain when you have a thought and an emotion. That creates energy, and that gets stamped in your brain. It's like patterns, okay? A whole bunch of patterns. So number one, the factor is how strong were those patterns, right? Number one, the factor is how strong were those patterns that you created. And remember, they have no factual interpretation attached. They have no factual meaning attached to them. They're just that, thoughts and emotions. We can have thoughts and emotions based on the silliest things, really. Okay? A teddy bear, for example, really has no meaning except what you attach to it. So kids can hold a teddy bear for years and years and years. They need this blankie. They need this teddy bear. Is the teddy bear or the blankie really doing anything? No. It's the meaning that they assign to it, right? That's why some people are like, silly, why do you have that blanket? Like, you're an adult. What's the truth? Who knows? Who knows? Right? It's the meaning you assign. So, how much emotion and energy is involved in the memories that you have, right? Number two, how many of those do you have? So that's why relationships that last a long time are more difficult to get over, because you just have so many more imprints to get over, right? They keep sparking. And here's the thing. The reason that you keep thinking about these past memories is because you have not come to love your future and deem it as important or more important as your past. So you're romanticizing your past because you are not focused on your future. Your frontal lobe is going to give you the information that you tell it to. Okay? It's your creative center. And by the way, up to 50% of our memories are embellished. I'm going to say that again. Up to 50% of your memories are embellished. Half of those memories are you making up a story that's not even true. I want you to think about that. Because a lot of you are out there making your relationships worse than they were. And a lot of you are making stories up about your relationship saying it was better than it was. Up to 50% of your memories are embellished. And I've read scientific data on this. Okay? So here's what I want you to think about. Your frontal lobe is going to bring you data that you're asking for, that you're thinking about, that you're identifying with. So, thank you. Thank you, Erin. So, what I want you to think about is, if you're identifying with this relationship, if you're thinking about this relationship, if you're saying, oh, I'm this guy's girlfriend, you know, this is how you think of yourself, you identify, right? Your identity is so important because your frontal lobe is going to take what you identify with and bring you data based on that, right? So if you're over here saying, I'm still this person's girl, or I'm still this person's boyfriend, and that's how you identify, that's the information that's going to come up to your mind. Because your frontal lobe is going to filter out what you've told it is not important. You've told it, this is how I identify. This is what's important to me. Bring me memories. Bring me data based on this. So now you're going to keep thinking about your ex, right? Because you're identifying with being his girlfriend. In your mind, you're still his girl. So what information is your frontal lobe going to... who you identify with, guys, is so important. Your personality brings about your personal reality. Your experiences in life are brought about by your internal world. They create your external world. People walk around thinking that their external world creates their internal world. It's not true. That's not true. You create your external world by your thoughts and your feelings. So now you've told your frontal lobe, this is my identity. This is who I am. So now it's filtering out everything else. It's not bringing you your future. It's bringing you your past. Because you've asked it to, because you've identified with your past. If you are not living in the future, then you're just left with memories of the past. You have to be obsessed with your future. You have to be living in it. You have to visualize it. You have to use words that are very vivid. And don't do this. This is a big mistake. And I'm gonna share some more information in a second. So bear with me. Don't do this. Don't say I am not. For example, let's say you want to lose weight. We can relate this to the ex-boyfriend. I am not. Whatever. Harry. I'm just making up a name. I am not Harry's ex-girlfriend. What are the two most powerful words in that sentence? I am not Harry's ex-girlfriend. Please write here, what are the two most vivid, descriptive words in that sentence I just used? Please volunteer. What are the most vivid, descriptive, what words stand out to you in that sentence? I am not Harry's ex-girlfriend. Does anyone know? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you. The most vivid words are Harry, right? Imagery. I am is not the most powerful word because it doesn't give you an image. So, Harry, because you get a mental image of your ex-boyfriend, right? And what else do you get? Girlfriend. Those are the two most powerful images, words in that sentence. Harry and girlfriend. Now, what are you going to focus on then? What's your brain gonna read from when you I'm not is not imagery. So it's not the most powerful word because it does not become an image. Your subconscious doesn't read that. Your subconscious is taking in pictures from the words. Not and I am are not pictures. So this is how you rephrase that. Because now, when you use I am not Harry's girlfriend, your subconscious is focused on Harry's girlfriend. That's not what you want. It's not what you want. You want to get away from that. So what are you? I am a strong, independent woman who loves life. I love my life. I am happy. I am joyful. I have peace. I am free. I am independent. I am a traveler. I am satisfied. My heart bursts with joy for my everyday life. I love to read. I love listening to the rain. I love my family. I love a hug from my nephew. I cherish my friend, whoever your friends are. You have to give imagery about the life you live and the life that you're going to live. Positive imagery. When you do that, you become grateful. You have to use vivid imagery. And I didn't use the best descriptive words right now, but use vivid imagery. Very, very, very descriptive. Your subconscious loves pictures. Okay? Not what you're not. For example, if you're on a weight loss journey, I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to give you some free game here right now. If you're on a weight loss journey, this is what people do, and this is why diets don't work, guys. I am not going to eat cake. What are the vivid image words? I am not going to eat cake. You tell a kid, don't eat those cookies, don't eat that cake. What are they going to do? Why do you think kids, when you tell them don't do something, they go right ahead and do that thing? Because don't eat cake, don't eat cookies. What do they hear? They hear eat cookies. They hear eat cake. Okay? You don't tell them what. That's why this doesn't work. Exactly. Eat cake. That's what they're hearing. Eat cake. You just told them eat cake. Okay? It's very simple. Focus vividly. Give clear words. It doesn't take commands. It doesn't take commands in the negatives, but the reason for that is because commands in the negatives don't. It's not that it doesn't take commands in the negative. It's because when you the point here is that when you give it a negative command, you're focusing. The focus words, the image words, are always focused on what you don't want. So it's not that it doesn't take commands in the negative. It takes the command from the most vivid words in the sentence. Right? So I am not Harry's ex-girlfriend. It's hearing Harry's girlfriend. That's what it hears, because those are the most powerful vivid image words. So you have to focus instead on the vivid image words that you do want. Is that clear? Don't say I don't eat cake. I don't want to eat cake. That's why diets don't work. That's why diets don't work. And this is why getting over your ex doesn't work. You know, trying to get over your ex, because you're not building vivid image words of your future. And if you're not visualizing vividly your future, then you're not going to fall in love with it if you have no picture. Yes, vision boards are excellent. Vision boards, journaling. Right? Okay, so here's another point I want to make. In order to get over your ex, you need to make a decision, right? That is so emotionally strong that it covers the patterns, all the emotional patterns that you've created. You got neurological imprints over and over. Fire, tattoos, imprints, all over your brain. And the longer you've been with him, the more stronger patterns you develop. You have to work on developing a pattern that is stronger than the ones that you've already established from the past. So yes, the vision boards, the rehearsing the future, the visions, all that. But before you do that, you need to take this step. Okay? Understand that the past is experiences. The only way to create new patterns that overlap those experiences, those memories, is to create a stronger one. Okay? So the choice, now hear me very clearly, okay? Because this is very important. The choice to move on has to be an experience itself. The choice has to be an experience. How do you make a choice of experience? The emotion related to that decision, that choice to move on, has to be so strong that it overlaps and makes a new energetic emotional imprint in your mind. Do you understand that? The choice itself. You have to get into a state where you feel so strongly, like literal emotions attached to moving on, that moment where you said that's it, it's over, is so dang strong that itself is an imprint and an emotion, an energy stamp that will last forever. Now I can't go too much into how you do this, but you're going to use reasoning. Honestly, you're going to use logic. Guys, one thing, and you have to learn how to develop. And I can't go into it here. This is like a lot of neuroscience that I just can't cover this. If anybody wants a session with me, I'm glad to. I can take new clients in January. I can teach you this process, but I want you to understand the neuroscience behind it, the science behind it. Okay. You can't focus on your old memories, because every time you think about your old memories, you're recreating the energetic emotion. You're restamping. So in my practice, I don't recommend thinking about the past, in a sense of reliving memories. It's not good for you. But I want to say this. Remember that your relationship, in many cases, ended for a reason that hasn't changed. Right? Your relationship ended for a reason that probably has not changed. Okay? Make the decision. Yeah, do not relive memories. It's why would you relive that? More energy, more emotion attached to something that's over, right? You want to move forward, and the only way to do that, again, is to make the decision and make it so strong emotionally, and do it every day. Do it every day, because you need to set those new patterns, new emotions, stamps. And the longer your relationship was, the more work it's going to be, to be honest. The more work it's going to be. But I'll tell you this. When you make this decision that you are going to move on, you're now creating the space for opportunity. Because if you're living in the past, you're no longer able to you're not able to live in the realm of possibility. You cannot experience new possibility if you are living in the past. Okay? You are not open to it. You're off. The quantum field, okay, will not bring you new possibility. And the only way that's going to happen is by making that that choice, which is emotionally stronger than your past. I'm going to give you an example. And I'll tell you how intense living in a state of consciousness and opportunity can be. And I'm going to give you this by a real life example. So let's think about a woman who is overweight. She's not strong. She knows she's not strong. She never worked out a day in her life. Never. And she has this idea, this pattern in her head that she's not strong. She's weak. She's overweight. Always been that way. Never going to change. Can barely lift a 10-pound dumbbell. This is the pattern. This is what she believes. This is what she feels. Every single day of her life, she has this pattern. Now, one day this woman, she's a mother. She's walking down the street. All right? She's walking down the street in New York City in Times Square with her toddler daughter. As they're crossing the street, her toddler daughter gets run over by a car and ends up under the vehicle, right? Ends up under the vehicle. This woman, with this pattern of believing that she was not strong, that she was overweight, always believed that her whole life, and actually that is the truth. Matter-wise, she's not strong. She's not. In matter, in measures of matter, physical matter, she's not strong. Now, let me ask you this. What happens when her daughter gets pinned under the car? Her emotion, her decision, and her emotion attached with lifting up her daughter from under that car is so strong that she never bothers to think about the fact that physically she's never been strong a day in her life. She's not thinking about the fact that she can't lift 10 pounds. You know why? Because she made the decision that she's going to lift that car with emotion that is so darn strong that she's just literally over imprinted all those tattooed emotions and memories in her mind that she is not strong and she's overweight. And guess what? She's now open to the field of possibility. The quantum field brings her opportunity, the opportunity to lift that vehicle. So she's literally not creating from matter. She's creating from energy and consciousness because she's let go and she's opened herself to opportunity. Because of the sheer emotion, she's overprinted her limiting beliefs. And now she's unlimited because of her emotion. Attached with the decision to lift up her daughter. And she does it from energy. She doesn't do it from matter. Yeah, but where does the adrenaline come from? That's what you guys have to understand. Adrenaline is energy. Adrenaline is energy. It's not matter. So, anyway, this is the point I want to leave you with, guys. You can do it. You can do it. But just make sure that your choice is extremely emotional. All right? And there are methods that you can do to imprint those decisions and stuff like that. I can't go into that here. Again, if you want a session with me, I'm happy to give you a session. Or if you want to, do some research on this. I think it's helpful. I mean, a lot of people are in the position where, they can't get over their ex, So, yeah. I hope this video was helpful. I appreciate you listening. Drop some comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you found this video helpful for yourself, please save it. If you know someone going through a breakup or has been through a breakup, then yeah, Johnny, we'll talk about that another time. Yeah, it is a chemical surge, but there's an origin of that chemical surge, which is energetic. But anyway, more neuroscience for another time. But yeah, if you found this helpful, save it. If you know someone going through it, share it. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining. Take care.